at one point had like this press conference that was like, here's the piece of paper signed by everyone. We will give him immunity for everything that is currently going on. We will give him the $5 million promissory note. We've had, this pretty much just like, oh my God, you're right. I'm handing you everything.
Okay.
You won in this, Tony. Welcome to Ill-Equipped History. We're two best friends. This week are continuing to tell you some crazy stuff.
Oh my God, it's so crazy.
I'm Emileigh, and this is Morgan.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting sleepy. How are you?
Yeah. Same. I watched Shelby's son today for a couple hours, and he is the sweetest little thing.
Your little nephew.
My little nephew. And he was watching Mickey Mouse, and he was getting kind of like bored with that and fussy. So I turned on Moana, and I don't think he'd ever seen Moana before. And that kid went silent, and he was sucked in. And I was like, yes.
Let
know the ways.
Ali Cravalho just take you to another world with her beautiful singing voice.
I was like finishing researching this episode, and I was going, make way, it's time you knew, the village of my town. I was like getting it.
Is all you
need. Don't copyright us. But, yeah. So that was my day, researching and watching a cute little baby.
Yeah, I worked,
nice.
Sent some emails, told people what to do.
Isn't that the
Listen
best?
to people ask me what to do. And then, this is the same day where we recorded last week.
Yeah. So you guys had to wait a week. Morgan had to wait 20 minutes.
I know.
She cheated.
I get to know before you.
Guys, it's been so long since we've had a 2-part episode. I was like really second guessing. I was like, no, I need to put an outro here. Like, we need to do the whole sign off. Now we have to do the new sign in. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been since episode 100 and 101.
Wow.
It's 100 Years War.
Holy shit.
So we've been churning these out. Because usually, when we have a 2-parter or a multi-parter, it gives us, like, a little bit of a buffer. And we haven't had that in a long time. So.
I know. I am kind of glad we get a little bit of a buffer just a couple weeks before our trip.
Yeah. Our trip's coming up.
Listen, I want you to know that the shipping, I should have ordered them like a day before, because the shipping was longer than I expected. Okay. And it's going to be here between August 31st and September 3rd. Like, whew. So anyway, let's get into continuing this crazy story.
Yes, please.
February 10th, 1977. Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Crestwood Village apartment complex. After a harrowing few days standing off with a man with a hostage, the police have finally gotten the perpetrator to come out. The news reporters are outside reporting the new development, while the crowd gathered is being held back from the scene. Good evening, this is Angie from Channel 5. It seems we have a new development in the hostage situation down in the Crestwood Village. We have heard that they have exited the unit, and the dead man's wire is being removed from Dick Hall's neck currently.
Please move back behind the line. There's still a situation going on. Officer, did they say it's over? Dick is free? As far as I know, yes. They should be coming out soon. I heard they granted him immunity. That can't be right. Are they going to grant it? I'm not at liberty to say, ma'am, but please step back. Margie, did you hear that? They're going to give him liberties. What? That's crazy. He is a madman. Ma'am, that's not what I said. I was just saying...
Oh my god! What is that? Ah! Oh no! The sound of a shotgun blast rings through the air from the direction that the hostage is being released. This is Angie from Channel 5 again. We just heard a gunshot coming from the building. We are unclear as to if anyone is shot, or if it was accidental or intentional. We will keep you updated.
Christ, officer, did he kill him? Ma'am, I've been with you this whole time. How would I know? Now stay behind the line.
I had to add a little humor in that.
I'm so stressed.
Guys, did he make it? Did he get shot? We're going to find out. Okay.
Oh, God.
So, Morgan, it's been 20 minutes for you, so it's fresh. Listeners, it's been a week. Let's bring you back to where we're at. Tony, the madman, has taken Dick hostage.
Oh, man.
There is a wire around his neck, the dead man line. It is connected to a sawed-off shotgun, pointed at his neck. I think we got it from here. They ran around downtown Gallivant for a while, ended up at the apartment that is rigged with explosives, and it's not looking good for Dick. So where I left y'all off at was the end of day one. And like Morgan said last week, she didn't really like the way I said day one. Yes. So let's take a look at kind of how Dick is getting on inside of this apartment. It's actually interesting. We have a quote from him reflecting on his time. So, guys, obviously he didn't die, or we wouldn't have this quote. I left you in suspense because you don't know if he got shot or not. Anyway, quote, actually, he was asked if he, in an interview, if he had, like, stayed quiet or if he was, like, combative with Tony. So this is in regards to that. Quote, actually, I was doing a little of both. I had the position that I shouldn't let him run over me if I could help it. And so I kind of stood up to him from time to time and argued with him. But then it got to the point where he became a little unmanageable. He pistol whipped me with the revolver a couple times when I raised objection too much. I raised my fist at him a couple times, and that really infuriated him. Other times, he was just an ordinary guy. We were kind of buddy-buddy. He told me some of his life story. He teared up sometimes talking about his mother. During this whole time, it was just a little of this and a little of that.
Wow.
So big extremes we're seeing here.
Yeah. Oh, God, the fact that he was pistol whipped several times.
Yeah.
Oh, this poor man.
And apparently, he was getting fed. He would take the wire off to allow him to go to the restroom and things of that nature. He was not treated cruelly, per se. I mean, pistol whipping is not great. Yeah. But he wasn't really getting physical harm other than the pistol whipping, it seems like. And yeah, it seemed like as long as Dick could keep him calm, it was like, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just imagining the ramblings of the madman from last week that we were hearing on that recording of the police call. Could you imagine that for like days?
No, I can't. I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would tune it out. I don't know if I would snap. I don't know what I would do.
Yeah. I'd probably snap. That
You would.
I would. My patience.
You'd be like, damn it, stop talking. I need a
Shut
I'm
up.
getting overstimulated.
For 1 second. Shut up. Ah!
And then you'd get shot in the face.
I would not survive any situation like this. He would either kill me on the spot or send me back. Like, he'd be like, get out of here, actually.
No, what would happen
kidding.
is that the first time you got up, your knee would buckle and you'd fall.
He'd probably, I never would have left the office. I would have tripped on my way out and I'd be done. He'd be like, I didn't even do that.
She just tripped. She's she's clumsy.
Yeah, well, you're putting,
You would have lost feeling in your foot and like tripped over it or something.
Oh, probably. I'd be like, listen, I'm gonna need you to readjust me for a second. I can't feel my toes. Like, I can.
You got to give me a little bit more of a line here.
Yeah, just a little bit. Listen. No. I get what you're doing. But like,
yeah,
I can't move. So
right. You gotta give me a chance here.
Yeah. Like, we can work this out.
So dark. This is so dark. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Anyway, so they decide. Now remember, guys, this is all like being recorded for TV.
Right.
And it's not all live coverage per se, but when there's like a big development, something will cut in, right?
Right.
So they decide to bring in the big guns. And by big guns, I mean behavioral analysis from the FBI.
Okay. Yeah.
And they show up pretty quickly. I mean, by like day 2, they're there.
Okay.
And this is like very early days of profilers. Because remember, this is 1977. Mental health, they were like, have you tried drinking about it? Have you tried cocaine? You should try
Have you
that.
tried punching your wife a few times?
Yeah. I mean, it's valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So it was very progressive for them to be like, oh, maybe this guy's having like a psychotic break. We should probably kind of cater to that, to not manipulate, but to convince him to come out without anyone getting hurt. So they do things like determine if people are suicidal, if they're mentally ill, if they're acting out of desperation. They advise negotiators what tone to use and change the plan according to the person's mood.
Right.
Basically, like, psychoanalyze.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are they? And it works. I mean, they, to this day, still do that.
Yeah.
And they determined that Tony, big shock, guys, was in the best mood when he felt like he was in control.
Of course.
I feel like we all knew that.
Yeah. When he was getting what he wanted, when he had the power,
Mm-hmm.
which I will say, like, this is not everyone, but I do work with a lot of people who have been traumatized, unfortunately.
Yes.
And unfortunately, several of those people have faced abuse. And it can be, again, it's not everyone, but it can be a thing where people who have faced some kind of abuse, whether it's emotional or physical or sexual, they want control because they have so little in their own life. If they can exert control any way they can, they will. And like, I have a family member, the way that they exerted control was they had a very limited diet because that's what they could control. There was very little control over the rest of their life, but they could control what they ate. So, and that took a very long time to overcome.
Yes.
But, it could look a lot of different ways. Tony's way of doing this is not in a healthy way.
No.
It's a very harmful way. A very, very harmful way.
You choose what, you can control a lot of things. This ain't it. This ain't.
Right.
No. So they've got these experts on the scene, but they also call in someone interesting to help negotiate. And that is Tony's brother, Jim. Now, Jim Kiritsis is the only brother that he respects, that Tony respects. And I didn't write down the exact story, but apparently Jim was out doing something and someone was like, hey, you need to call your brother right now. Okay. So he popped in, because it's the 70s. So he popped into the closest store or something of that nature, and there was a TV that had the news on. And it had this going on.
Of course it did.
So he found out about this through the TV.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine what was going through Jim's head. He probably wasn't extremely shocked because of what Tony had done to the family prior, but still, I'm sure that was still a big shock for him.
Yes. But on the other hand, I saw an interview, and I was so confused as to what was happening, because they had sent a helicopter to go get him. Mm-hmm. So they brought him back, and he, people were interviewing him, the news was interviewing him, and he was saying that the thing with his sister didn't happen, and that he's being portrayed as a madman in the media, and that wasn't true. And I found this really interesting because I was watching this and I was like, no, wait, why? I was just told that it was true. And in the same documentary later, it talked about how he did hold up his sister. So I think Jim just straight up lied.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Maybe to minimize, make it seem like Tony wasn't as bad of a person that he was being portrayed to be in the situation.
Maybe. Protect the family image.
Yeah.
And later in the episode, later in this documentary, his family would even go on to be like, we weren't shocked he did this.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe just in the moment he was trying to protect him.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
So around 6:30 in the morning, after a very long waiting period, WIBC news director Fred Heckman finally actually reached out to Tony on the phone and began listening to his story. And Heckman came at this at an angle that was, I am here to help you.
Right.
And the police and Heckman and other producers on the station decided to actually give Tony his demands and actually broadcast the interview live on air, despite their inability to get him to stop cussing. Guys, this is not like it is today. Yeah. We would be shut down for the things we said if we said them in 1977. It would not air.
Right. This
was shocking everybody.
I'm sure. People are like, oh my God, the children. Which, I mean, he is crass. We're also crass. He's crass.
Oh yeah, we're crass, but I was shooketh.
Yeah.
It was oaf. But anywho, during this live broadcast, he explained his story. He said they betrayed, schemed him. Quote, I went down there for vengeance, and by God, I'll get vengeance.
Oh, that's so chilling. Ugh.
And then he said, I've been angry for 44 years.
Oh my god. This guy needed therapy yesterday.
Yes. And ultimately, his demands with the police was he wanted no arrest, he wanted immunity, he wanted no psychiatric treatment at all, because he was a sane man. That's what he kept saying. I am not crazy. I know what I'm doing. I am in my right mind. And he said it a million times. He wanted admission of guilt by the company. So that's what we were talking about last week, where he wanted Meridian Mortgage to be like, our bad. That was our fault. And he also wanted damages paid by the company to the sum of $5 million.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So once the broadcast kind of concluded, Tony just kind of never stopped calling Heckman.
I'm sure.
He just became a major point of contact throughout this.
Well, he was given a free platform.
Yep.
To talk to the entire town,
yep.
the entire city. And not that I know a lot about hostage negotiations, but I feel like then the couple I've learned about that the perpetrator will like latch on to one person and like just I mean, they have nothing better to do. They're just standing there like with their hostage. Like they don't have anything else to do. So they're just gonna like, oh, you're a captive audience now. I can control you because you have to do what I say, so I'm just gonna continue to do whatever I want. Yeah.
And he seemed to have a respect for Heckman. This is the weirdest thing that I think, because I know you heard how he was like, I have a lot of respect for policemen.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't even negotiate with the negotiators that were like standing right outside his freaking door. Or like trying to talk to him or call him. He started only talking to Fred. And sometimes on air and sometimes off the air. So this situation by now had turned into a national like media frenzy. Reporters from across the world were arriving in Indiana. Just to like get a hold of this situation. And when Tony was not on the phone with Heckman, he was actually listening to WIBC on his home radio. So he was listening to the live tellings of what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he could also stay up to date on what the police were doing.
Yeah.
Because I guess the police just weren't hiding it well. This is uncharted territory. They're not used to live coverage.
Right. And the press wants to, get the news out there and cover the story. And so they're going to report on what... There's no, like, gag orders on the press at this time. So...
Yeah. Yeah. And on a number of occasions, he would actually hear of a potential plan or raid on the radio. And then would immediately start threatening Dick's life to get the police to back off.
Mm-hmm.
On one occasion, he overheard that the SWAT team were going to try to defuse the bombs. And he called Heckman. Bless his heart, I heard this. I couldn't find the recording to play for y'all today, but I did hear it in the documentary that he called Heckman and was cussing him out. Just ripping him a new one. And because the police were saying, no, we're not going to raid. And he's like, bitch, I heard that on the radio that you were about to. Don't lie to me.
Right.
Don't lie to me. And he was like, I'm so effing mad about what your radio station just reported. And Heckman's like, bro, I just pulled into my house. Like, what did they say?
Mm-hmm.
And he was mad, but he was calling Heckman, like, personally.
Yeah.
So, back to the demands. What do we do about the demands? The apology from the company was like a no-brainer. That happened immediately. They got on live TV. A representative of the company read a thing that was like, "We're so sorry. Everything's our fault. It's always been our fault." Easy peasy.
Right.
The no psychiatric treatment felt to me kind of wishy-washy. They didn't really talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were going to talk a lot about it because he's crazy. He's saying he's crazy, but he's acting crazy. So they're probably like, we're just gonna gloss over that for now. I'm sure they told him, no, we're not gonna send you off. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it was similar about, like, the immunity as well.
Yeah. And they also told him, like, sure, we'll give you a $5 million promissory note. Once this exchange happens, sure.
Yeah.
But that leaves one issue. Immunity.
Yeah.
Because he be doing some bad shit right now.
Yes.
You don't want to just make this person immune for what they're doing.
Right.
He needs to have some consequences to his actions.
Yes.
But also they were very scared that if they did that, if they gave him the immunity, there would be a chance that there would be copycat
exactly
criminals.
Yeah, like, I can just have a hostage, demand immunity, and get whatever I want. Okay.
And get money.
Why doesn't everyone do this?
Exactly. So, like, do we also, if we don't give him immunity, is he going to kill him?
Yeah.
It's like a lose-lose situation.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, okay, give us time to deliberate, determine if we can do this. And they got some lawyers involved. They even sent one out on behalf of Tony. And he would go up and, like, talk through the door with him. Okay. I think Tony asked for one. So they went and got one. And he was being, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the end of day 2.
Okay.
Day 3.
Oh, God.
Heckman's role really evolved from just like a point of contact to like a key player in negotiations. Like we said, he was the only one that was really whatever. And once the FBI found out, they were like on him. It's on like Donkey Kong. And he actually became the person that everyone went to, whether it be police or media, to get information regarding Tony.
Wow.
But this caused problems while being on the air because, as we were talking about earlier, there are moral issues going on here, ethical issues.
Mm-hmm.
A reporter from WIBC, Tom Cochran, had been wondering whether, like, the involvement would compromise the station's reporting. That they couldn't take a third-party objective view of it anymore.
Yeah.
So in the end, they decided that that Heckman actually got pulled from the story. He could no longer have control over the coverage because of his involvement.
Yeah.
He continued to speak with Tony, of course, because, like, don't pull that.
Right. Right.
But
he's not going to actively be reporting on it anymore.
Right. So he just turned into, like, a negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
So throughout the course of this third day, the news outlets and police themselves were actually, I think they were informed to be more optimistic. Be like, oh, negotiations are going well. It's looking awesome. And that was to get into Kiritsis' head and kind of change his mood to be in the better, that everything was
things are going his way. Yeah.
They even went as far as talking in length, very lengthy discussions about the immunity and what they're doing to accommodate. And at one point had like this press conference that was like, here's the piece of paper signed by everyone. We will give him immunity for everything that is currently going on. We will give him the $5 million promissory note. We've had, this pretty much just like, oh my God, you're right. I'm handing you everything.
Okay.
You won in this, Tony. So by the end of the day, Heckman told everyone that he thinks negotiations would be over soon. And they were, thankfully. Okay. They announced, according to the officers, Kiritsis and the officers had reached an agreement that Hall would be released from the complex first, followed by Tony, who would be apprehended in the complex's courtyard. Now, nightfall comes, and Hall did come out of the apartment that evening.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with the rig still on him, and Tony still holding it. He had ignored the negotiation plan. And they went down the stairs into the main lobby. Now, they had set up, basically, I don't want to call it a stage, because they didn't, build a stage. But, they had set up an area in the main lobby where it looked like he was going to be center stage.
Yeah.
And they put it on TV, and they were like, we're just down here waiting for him to come down, and to entice him, to make him feel like, oh, I'm going to go down there and be the center of attention still. That's basically their mindset. They said they made him an area where he would want to be.
Yeah.
To lure him out. After negotiations, of course. So now we're in the lobby. He comes down, unfortunately, with Hall still connected.
He just looks, I'm looking at the pictures of him, he looks so exhausted and just over this situation.
Yeah.
The last picture you have where his hair's a little messy, and you can tell how tight the wire is around his neck because it's pulling up his collar on his shirt.
Yeah.
And he's just I don't even know anymore. He just looks so done.
Yeah. Well, he's had fucking 3 days of Tony yakking in his ear.
Oh my gosh.
God. So, what's crazy to me, this would never happen today. If you look around those men, look how tightly packed in they are there.
There's so many people. And this guy has a loaded shotgun. And they're all just
crammed
in. Their freaking brown leather jackets just everywhere. With their microphones and...
Yes,
oh my God.
It's media. It is the freaking news people and it's police officers crowded into this thing. Fucking Tony comes down there and he's like, I got shit to say, because of course he does.
Of course he does. He literally never shuts up.
He turns this shit into an impromptu press conference. He literally just starts jamming or yammering on about how he was done so dirty. Everyone was done so dirty. Or did me so dirty. And he was acting like he was in a one-man show here.
Yeah.
It was all
He's getting all
him.
his attention. It is the Tony show.
He was literally going, oh, someone, baby, get me some water. That fucking baby again. He was killing me. Calling everyone baby. Get me some water. He was even which was nice, I guess. He was like, get Dick some water too. He's awfully thirsty.
Oh my God.
He was chitty-chatting. And again, the mood swings. It's so unnerving to watch someone be like, man, I really thought I was done for there, and crying. And then he's like, hey, ha, cutting up with people around him and recognizing some of his friends who are officers in the room with him and being like, and this guy, he's a good guy. He's a good officer right here. I'm telling you what, now you know why I've been so mad for the past 4 years. Don't you, Doug? I don't know. I made that name up. And the guy would just have to be like, yeah, Yeah, I get it now. I get why you were so mad. And it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
It's unsettling. And I think one of the big things that happened on the media side during this is that ABC, anybody who was watching ABC at the time was watching John Wayne win an award. And then in the middle of John Wayne's speech, it like cut to this.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Again, unnerving. So again, anyone who was unfamiliar with that is now quite familiar. So he's rambling on. It lasted like over 30 minutes. Full again of profanity, scaring all the children. Scaring the children.
Like there's just like a crowd of children like around.
Yeah. Gather around, kids.
Gather around, kids. Little Tony tell you the story.
Story time with Uncle Tony. This one's How the Halls Fucked Me Over.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah, for sure don't let him around children. While this is going on, the police are so antsy. They are scared shitless.
I'm sure they're shitting a brick, you know.
They're like,
this guy is just waving a gun around.
And they're like, is this his final goodbye? Like, is
Right.
this it?
Right.
And surrounding, kind of really close to Tony, are police officers. And they actually had come up with a plan. Now, this plan was going to be last resort. Probably not going to work, but it was worth a shot. And the plan is that one guy had a handgun and a handkerchief in his pocket. Now, they had previously spoken with a doctor and was like, this is so morbid, guys. What is the quickest way to kill somebody?
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor had said, if you go below the ear and shoot up, instant.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was, if the guy pulled out the handkerchief, that was the signal. That was like the go signal. So if he saw the handkerchief first, the other person was supposed to reach for the shotgun and try to jam it. There was like a sleeve that you could jam it. At the same time that the handkerchief guy pulled out the pistol and shot Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But that was only if it looked like this was gonna be it. It all had to happen in like a split second. The dude said he reached for that handkerchief 3 times during this interview. And everyone's sweating bullets. But eventually, he had enough talking. He literally, at the end, was like, it's too hot in here. Is there anywhere cooler?
Outside? Like, we agreed on that you would let Dick go and you would come out to the courtyard and we would collect you.
Yep. But no, they took him into another room and all of the media was sent out. They were like, we're done. This is too much.
Yeah.
So, in that other room, Tony was like, okay, I got everything I wanted. I got immunity. I got my $5 million. I'm just going to be let free. My life is hunky-dory.
Yes.
So he takes off the rig. And he takes off. They start helping him unassemble everything. And from like our skit, from the news perspective, a gunshot goes off on live TV. Everyone's freaking out.
I'm freaking out.
He shot it out the window just to prove that it was real. Like the good narcissist he is.
Just be like, I wasn't playing. He could have died at any time.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking around. I just wanted y'all to know. He just shot it in the air out the window. And then they arrested him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a recording of him before this being like, hey, yeah, you tell them I'll be down there. I got my $5 million. I'll be down there in just a bit, baby. Said that baby again. I'll be down there in just a bit. Don't you worry. It's all solved. I'm good to go. And then, like, he hangs up the phone and they arrest him. Like, he was convinced that he had immunity. And I bet you're wondering, like, you said he had immunity. Well, no.
I figured that they were probably like, we're just going to say you do, so you calm down. But, like, they don't have any obligation.
No.
The police are legally allowed to lie to you. I hope you guys know that. Like, they can lie to you.
Yeah.
And that's within their right to do that, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. I literally put, but wait, I thought he had immunity. And I put, they lied.
They lied. Of course they did. They weren't going to give him $5 million. They were going to let him have immunity.
No. Also, and he said, we cannot grant immunity to the accused. Like, nah. Yeah. No. And that document that was typed up was only valid if the prosecutor's office had any, like, conviction on honoring it. And they didn't. Yeah. They're not going to honor those terms. It was just a ruse. Yes. Duh. Yeah. Duh. Also, total count. Dick was held for 63 hours.
Oh my god. That poor man.
Yeah.
I hope he got the biggest hug from his wife and children when he got back home. Oh my god. I'd be like, all right, I'm not leaving my house for a year. Like, I'm staying with my family.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck this. So, in the months after this situation, obviously, Tony goes on trial for kidnapping, armed robbery, and armed extortion.
Yes.
Now remember, he had been in contact with a lawyer.
Yes.
That lawyer could not represent him because he knew he was going to eventually be a witness in this case. So he set him up with another lawyer.
Yes.
That one didn't last long because they just kept fighting. So he got another lawyer.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was very combative with all of his representation.
With literally fucking everybody.
I'm sure everyone was like, take a guilty plea. And he was like, hell no. And they're like, you literally cannot win.
Yeah.
In a jury trial. Oh my god.
It wasn't
like,
good.
There's all the evidence. Like, there's all the evidence.
Yeah. So they approached the case looking to get an acquittal and submitted a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity.
I figured. Yeah.
After a couple months of crazy deliberations, his sister was called to the stand. I think his brother was called to the stand. He was put on the stand.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. I'm sure that went well.
Oh, yeah. That one lady was like, every time he would start talking about what happened, that, like, what the big thing was that really pissed him off, he would, like, run away. And we just kind of put together that he just couldn't pay his payments.
Yeah.
So, after months of like hearing all this, and then the jury deliberating, the jury was actually hung 6-6.
Really? Whoa.
Now, they voted a couple times, and it finally ended up being, you know, because it needs to be whatever.
Yeah.
All or nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
And they eventually got to an understanding, but they didn't know what the final, like, verdict was. Until they, like, went out there. It was like that hung. They were like, it could go either way. Because they were looking at it from a point of, like, from the moment he started and the moment he ended, that 63 hours, was he insane?
Right.
And that is a moment.
There is a difference between, like, criminally insane to the point where you don't know, like, the consequences of your actions versus having severe mental illness.
Yes. And
in my opinion, looking back in hindsight and hearing this and not being, you know, I am a mental health professional, but not like a clinical psychologist. He's very mentally ill, but he knows the consequences of his actions because he was trying to get immunity because he didn't want to get in trouble for what he did because he knew it was wrong. Therefore, not criminally insane would be my logic if I was a juror and with the knowledge I have in this trial.
You should have been on that jury because they found him not guilty.
By reason of insanity.
Mm-hmm. And as part of the Indiana state law, the prosecution needed to show that he was sane beyond a reasonable doubt, and his defense argued that he had been locked in a paranoid, delusional state and convinced beyond reason that Hall and his family were out to get him.
Okay.
So, like, I literally, I can see why it's hung because I understand both sides. It's like, do I think this man is crazy? Yes. But do I think he's cognitive of what he did and the repercussions of that? Also, yes.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is true that the burden of proof is on the prosecution to prove that, you know, he was in a state where he definitely knew what was doing and was in a state of reality. And it sounds like the defense made a good enough case where I think a lot of people could say, like, yeah, this was a very severe paranoid delusion he was in. I mean, I can see it, yeah. I don't know if I agree with it, but I can see it.
Right. And the public was not very happy about this at all. And what was another thing that was interesting was that the jurors in this documentary were talking about how they were like, I empathized with him. Mm-hmm. The evidence I saw in hearing his story, I empathized and I sympathized with him. And it's like, okay, so how much of that was unbiased?
Yeah.
And how much of it was you
felt bad for him.
You felt bad for him.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if all the live coverage of it affected the jury.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very likely possible. Especially if they were like in the area and were like listening to the broadcasts and watching the TV, you know.
Yeah. And I think now they will ask people, like, have you heard of this case before? Have you seen it on social media? Have you seen it on TV? This was so new they weren't doing that. So they weren't probably, and I can't say for sure, but they probably weren't screening to see if they've watched this live.
Yeah. If there was any kind of bias that could.
Right.
By the way, funny story. I was talking with some of my colleagues not too long ago, and apparently, like, I haven't been requested to do jury duty, but a couple of my colleagues have, and apparently if you say, like, you're a blank, like the role I'm in, you'll automatically be, like, dismissed from participating in a jury, because, like, in my job you have to, like, consider all of the evidence and, like, make very rational decisions, and we're, like, very highly educated, so we typically are very highly educated because of the amount of schooling we have to do, so they try to get, you know, more of a average, like, most typical to the person going on trial, and apparently we're too considering of information sometimes, according to this person who I talked to.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Maybe not everywhere, but in this person's experience, like, as soon as they said they were the role I'm in, they were like, no thank you, because you're gonna be really considerate of this evidence and we don't want that. Like, the defense was like, no, we don't want
That's crazy.
This person and the jury.
I was asked to jury duty once, but it was before the kids. Yeah, it's before the kids were in school, and as a stay-at-home mom, like, who's gonna watch my children? So, you know, I was like, there is a box for that.
Yeah,
you can just be like, nope, sorry, can't. But I have kind of always wanted to.
Me too. Kyle was on a jury.
I'm nosy. I want to
know. Kyle was on a jury for a murder trial.
Oh, shit,
like,
really?
a few years ago. Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to know so bad. Like, he would come home every day and I'd be like, what happened? And he's like, I can't tell you. And I'm like, I know, but I want to know.
Did he get to tell you afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after like, sentencing and stuff.
Right.
He was like, okay, now I can tell you. And so, yeah, he told me it was a crazy case. It seemed like they were looking at, like, manslaughter versus murder, and of the case that happened, and how, like, he and his fellow jurors were, like, talking about the evidence, and he said some people got emotional, and he really worked to, like, get people to look at things, you know, with no bias and just look at the facts, and he said it was really interesting.
Yeah. I have always wanted to, but, like, my butt would not get the juicy gossip. I would get something horrendous.
Yeah.
And that scares me.
Yeah. I think the one that my friend was dismissed from was also a case involving a child.
Oh.
And that's another reason they're like, no.
No thanks.
Because we work with children, and they're like, there's going to be
you're
automatically going to side with the child and not, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
kind of
crazy. But anyway, that was a tangent.
Sorry, you want me to be non-biased in regards to a child? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Anywho.
This verdict actually outraged so many public officials and the public that they changed the law and later implemented a new plea of guilty but mentally ill for defendants. Wow. And also, like, you have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt if you are wanting to say not guilty for insanity. And now, not guilty due to insanity is only entered 0.85% of cases, and most of that time withdrawn because it does not meet the burden of proof.
Yeah, it is. It's very hard to get that conviction, especially nowadays when, like, we know so much more about the brain and mental health and mental illness and what criminal insanity is. versus just, and like things were crazy. Like there for a while, like people could murder people because like they found out the other person was gay and they could murder them and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like
Yeah. It was like, and I don't know if this is like a legend or if this was real, but like it was said that in Tennessee you could be like, nah, he needed a killing. He needed a killing. It wouldn't surprise me either. Let's talk about some people.
Okay.
Because he was found not guilty, I think the prosecutors kind of went after him again, I think at a different angle, trying to get more psychological evidence.
Yeah.
Which Tony refused to comply with.
Of course.
So he was held in contempt of court and then incarcerated in mental health facilities. So not just jail, but he went to mental health facilities.
Yes, and that's the thing too, is that some people who try to go like the not guilty by reason of insanity, they don't really realize they're going to be sent to a hospital for an undetermined amount of time.
Yeah.
Like there's no like you're sentenced to 15 years of mental health hospital. It's you're getting sent to a hospital until you're deemed no longer a threat to society.
Yeah.
Like, and it could be forever, like.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Act real good there.
Yeah.
So, he would go on to serve 11 years in these institutions.
Okay.
During this time, he transferred the land to his brothers, who were in charge of trying to sell it. But in 1978, it went through a foreclosure trial.
Yeah.
The property at that point was valued at $550,000.
Holy shit.
And
in just 5 years, it went up by that much?
Yeah. And with an outstanding mortgage of only $175,000. Wow. If bro had just kept a job and paid it.
I'm sure he had a hard time keeping jobs and listening to authority figures and all of that too.
Yeah. But his brothers couldn't find a buyer, so
that's a lot of mortgage money in the 70s.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to look it up.
Please do. They took it back.
Yeah.
They regained their ownership of it. And they even said, like, look, we're planning on selling it. We're not in the real estate business. We have no need for land.
Right.
We just took it because that's what we do. Like,
so
yes.
In 1978, I just put $500,000, and 1978 is worth over $2.5 million today.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a lot of money. For 17 acres, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. So in 1988, the state did deem him no longer dangerous, and he was released. He ended up living until 2005, where he died of natural causes at the age of 72.
Is there anything about the rest of his life? Was he...
He lived a quiet life.
Okay. Well, good for him.
Yep.
Hopefully he got the treatment that he needed while in the hospital, and he was able to work out his severe anger management issues.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Now, Heckman lost a lot of credibility after this. I think his involvement with this case was, I think he got, I'm not sure exactly, but it kind of seems like he got a little too personal with it. And then as a journalist, you're not supposed to do that. So he lost some credibility. I mean, he still worked in whatever. He was still very good at his job. But, I wouldn't say it ruined his career, but I think it put kind of a damper on it. It is interesting to say that apparently after the trial and everything, Tony was calling stations, radio stations, TV stations, to try to get more news coverage, but no one would give him the time of day.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone was like, you've had your You've had your place in the spotlight. You've had your time. We're kind of tired of you at this point.
Well, they were tired. They were like, please stop calling. This madman is calling us. And they were like, I know this is cruel, but we've all moved on.
And I mean, no one owes him, you know,
no,
like, him to vent at them and talk at them and rant, you know,
no.
Like, especially strangers don't owe that to him, you know.
No. Now, Dick's life. He had it kind of rough. His father died just a couple years later in 1979. Oh. And shortly after, Meridian Mortgage actually collapsed.
Oh, no.
And then his wife divorced him.
No, not his wife. No.
Yeah, I don't know the circumstances. I think there were rumors that maybe he turned to drinking a bit. Or, you know, maybe it wasn't a happy marriage. I don't know. But I just know all this happened in a couple year span. He actually refused to speak publicly about what happened until 2017.
Whoa.
And he ended up writing a book titled Kiritsis and Me, Enduring 63 Hours at Gunpoint. So that is out. I did not get a chance to read it. I got some excerpts.
I'm putting it on my list because I want to read it.
Yes. And in May of 2022, he died in his sleep following a brief illness.
Aww. I hope it was peaceful.
Yeah. It seemed like there at the end, there's some interviews with him when the book came out, and he seemed to be doing okay. He even said, like, I think it affects me more than I think it does, but he just kind of moved on with his life.
Yeah.
So, some final thoughts. This incident is kind of one of the first instances where local journalists and media companies actually cover like a live, not just hostage situation, but like a live crisis. And it really changed how we see these incidents and how we saw them going forward being covered. Journalists were instantly there with their cameras on. And then some people now are going back and thinking about how they handled it in the situation or in the time. Mm-hmm. And they were like, I don't think we did that right. I don't think we should have gone live. Because they were live in the lobby. Yeah. They could have been live when Dick got his head shot off.
Yeah, they could have.
I mean, we're talking JFK, Lee Harvey Oswald being murdered kind of level of publicity.
Do you remember, it was like early 2000s with the guy with the bomb on his neck?
Vaguely, yes, I do remember that.
I saw that. We were a family watching it on TV, live on the news, when the bomb exploded.
Oh.
And it showed everything. Like, it was awful. And like that, I mean, it still stays with me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Dick made it through okay, because it could have been worst case scenario, and it's very likely that would have been captured on live television.
Yeah.
And that would have been absolutely horrific.
Horrendous. And it's crazy that all of this happened, and somehow it changed how journalism went, because like when before had the assailant, the person, the bad guy, got airtime.
Yeah. And they don't do that now, for sure.
No. No.
Or else everyone... Like, a lot of people do commit horrific crimes because they want the attention and the notoriety.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad this was like a one and done deal with like giving the perpetrator this kind of media attention, or else there would be way more. I'm sure there's a ton of these. I mean, it happened in your own neighborhood, you know, not for attention, but it was still
I will tell that story in a second, but
okay.
I do want to say that their fears were fulfilled.
I'm sure, yeah.
There were 5 other armed hostage situations where the assailant tried to negotiate with the police in 1977 alone.
Damn.
And one of those, I think, tried to get like airtime and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hostage situation in my neighborhood. Have I told this on the pod before?
I don't think you have. Or maybe it's just been in passing, but I don't think you've told the story. Because we haven't really talked about a hostage situation.
No, not really.
Like in history before.
Okay, I'll keep it brief. So my eldest, the boy, he was a little baby, so this was a while ago. But apparently we have one way in and one way out of our neighborhood. And at the very beginning of the neighborhood, so kind of blocking everything, one of the first houses, there was a truck sitting just in the neighborhood. And they were acting suspicious. So the owners of one of the houses that was like right there called the police, and they were like, hey, this is, so-and-so at such and such house, or there's some people acting weird outside. They showed up. Turns out the truck was stolen. And the man who was in the driver's seat took the woman at gunpoint that was in the passenger seat and broke into the house. And it just so happened to be the same house that had called the police, which is ironic. They were in that house all day. Blocked the neighborhood. I could not get out of the neighborhood. No one could get into the neighborhood. That poor little old lady was stuck in her house. They had to throw a shit ton of gas bombs into this house. And I was in college at the time. I had class, and I had to email my professor and be like, listen, I swear to you, I'm not making this up. There's a hostage situation in my neighborhood. I can't make it to class today. If you do not believe me, please check these news channels. I live in this neighborhood. You can check the records. Like, I promise. I can't.
It's in my student records. This is my address.
Please believe me. They were really fine about it, but I know they were like, this bitch.
I'm sure they've heard worse excuses.
I'm sure
they probably were like,
worse.
I haven't heard a hostage situation yet. Yeah. That's a new one.
Yeah, but I was like, please, I live in here in this town. Check the news sources. It's active right now. Like, I can't make it. They eventually got the old lady out. And it turned out that the man and the woman he had taken hostage were married. And it was just a ruse to buy time, which was a horrible idea because it just made the situation worse. Yeah. Like, what did you think they were going to do? Go away?
Right. Yeah. Like, oh, they went into this private residence. Like, we'll just let them go. Yeah. There was not a lot of brain cells in that decision.
No, poor lady had to get rid of a lot of her stuff.
Yeah. And that house is boarded up for a long time.
They had to get all new windows. And I think it's new people live there now. They've added on like an addition and stuff. Yeah. But
I hope insurance helped her out, because that is some bonkers
I think they
ass
did.
shit. Good.
I think. Yeah.
I need to check my insurance policy and make sure hostage situation is covered in my
I'm sorry, Miss Ma'am, but it says here on your policy that you didn't pay the extra $20 for the hostage situation package. So you're going to have to check with the police department to see if they will pay for the damages. Could you imagine?
Oh, no.
Crazy.
Oh, my God.
Crazy. Yeah, so my story's not quite as dramatic.
Yeah, but I mean, this was still a great story, and your story also is very fascinating.
Yeah.
I remember she texted our group chat, she was like, y'all, I'm trapped in my neighborhood. And we're like, why? It's like, Summer, and she was like, because there's a hostage situation. We were like, what?
I don't know why all weird shit happens to me. Like, why can't my life be normal?
There's been a lot of stuff that's happened in your neighborhood. And it's just a regular ass neighborhood in
It's like
a small
cutie
town.
patootie neighborhood. I know.
Yeah. I don't get it.
There's fire trucks and ambulances through this neighborhood all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to the point where if we see one or hear one, my neighbor and I start texting each other and we're like, hey, you need to go like mow the neighbor's yard or something.
Sweep the driveway.
There was one day I was at a wax appointment and I was waiting in the lobby and she texted me and she was like, there's like police cars and tape and the whole thing like 4 houses down from you. Are you home? And I'm like, no!
Weren't you were on the news for something, right?
An earthquake, yeah. Yeah, I was on the news. They came and interviewed me about the earthquake.
I remember you texted me about that too. You're like, I gotta clean my house. This is gonna be here in an hour.
I never even got a shower that morning. I did the best I could.
It looked great.
Thank you. Everyone got a kick out of the gate around the Christmas tree because it was in December. And they were like, wait, her house is so cute. Is that a gate around the tree? I'm like, I have children. I don't know what to tell you.
Babies with grabby hands.
Or my son does not listen well at all at that age. I think he was like 2. There was a lot going on when he was a baby. I don't know why. Yeah.
He brought forth the chaos.
Yes. My chaos goblin. Maybe it's because I was just home with him a lot. And so I was just there when the things happened. Anywho, thanks for sticking with us, y'all. I know a 2-parter is not always ideal because you're ready for all the info, but this had to be split up.
It had to be. This would have been 3 hours if we kept going, and that would have been way too much. Yeah.
And I knew, I was like, man, if I fly through the information, I could fit it all in one episode. But we have too much to say about. I had a feeling that it's like Morgan's degree is going to come out of her body. And
it did a few times.
I mean, honestly, episode 1, part 1, watching your face, and you were like, what is this guy doing?
I was not prepared.
I implore you to listen to that entire. It's just 25 minutes. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating.
Stressful, but very fascinating.
Stressful. Fascinating. No one got injured, except for being pistol whipped, but no one was seriously injured, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Also so scary.
It's so scary.
So scary.
I was so anxious this past few hours. I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen to Dick Hall? Oh
I left you on a cliffhanger. You're like, did he actually get shot? I don't know.
I don't know.
I was like, I gotta add some suspense. I took it all away when I was like, he lived, but I gotta add it in somewhere.
Yeah. Well, you did a good job covering the story. It was a big one, so thank you.
Yeah. I researched this one because I was like, ooh, I have another kind of heftier one that I want to research. I'll do this fun little hostage situation one. And it turned out to be the first 2-parter in a year. So, oops.
Over a year. Right?
Yeah, because
it's been
in the 70s.
70s episodes, so it's been 70 weeks.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
We're very tired, so let's do
Yes.
socials and let y'all go.
You can find us on Facebook,
Ill-Equipped History Podcast Group and Page.
Instagram,
At Ill-Equipped History.
TikTok,
At Ill-Equipped History.
Gmail,
ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com.
and Patreon.
Patreon.com/ill-equippedhistory.
Woo! Okay, guys. When in doubt, get better coping skills.
Yes, please. There's so
Please.
many resources online. There's, I've been in therapy for over a year at this point, like consistently, and it has been absolutely life-changing. Emileigh is a regular with meditation, and that's been so amazing for her. Meditation is so good for you. Some mindfulness moments, deep breathing exercises.
Yes.
I love, yoga has been so great for my anxiety, and my stress levels and my frustration levels.
And you know what, guys? If you really do feel the need for violence, go to one of those like breaking room things.
Yeah, the smash rooms.
The smash rooms,
fun.
right?
Those
There's
are really
ways.
fun.
There's ways.
Or you could also eat a really good brownie, because it's really hard to be pissed off while eating a really good brownie.
Yeah. You know what? I'll brave the headache later that comes with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did tell you about my chocolate discovery, right?
No.
Chocolate's
Can you
a
not eat
migraine
chocolate?
trigger. It's a migraine
no!
trigger. I did more elimination diet things, and I was like, shit!
Oh, man.
And the darker the chocolate, the worse. So
Have your migraines gotten better since you've cut out chocolate?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no!
I can't have dairy or chocolate.
And you're a baker.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm crumbling. My body is an ancient. Yeah. It's a temple, but it's ancient, and it's crumbling to the ground.
It's a crumbling temple covered in moss and vines.
I was talking to Nick on the phone earlier, and I was sitting on the floor with my nephew, who was only 6 months old, so of course I'm on the floor with him, and I was on the phone with Nick, and I was like, I'm so glad we had our kids when I was in my 20s, because my hips hurt, my knees hurt, I can't do this anymore. I was like, oh, thank God he fell asleep. I'm going back to the couch. Anyway.
Okay, bye.